What is good, y'all? In this video, I want to talk about prayer and trusting in God's timing. So starting this year, I've started to pray again. I've been building my relationship with God a lot more this year. So with that, right, I've been praying a lot. And what I've noticed, honestly, I've gotten like 80% of what I've prayed for. 80%. Sometimes it'll be right away. I pray for it. Boom, an hour later, I literally get what I prayed for. It might be a month after I get what I prayed for. And I still have like 2 things really that I haven't received that I've, prayed for. But like for example, and it happened multiple times already. So I have a long drive to work. I drive 2 hours to work, 2 hours back every single day going to work. And I make good money. I get money for a hotel. I choose to put that money in gas and just pocket a little of the extra, right? Whatever's left. So the reason, because I know that probably sounds crazy to like everyone watching this. The reason I drive 4 hours is it just keeps me out of trouble. It gives me 4 hours of just time alone in my car to just focus, on myself, my mental health and everything. So it's just beneficial to me. So I have a long drive to work, right? And it's already happened a few times. I'll pray for patience. I'll pray, God, I want patience. Give me patience. Car breaks down on the freeway. I have to figure that situation out. In the past 2 months, how many vehicles have broken down on me? 3 vehicles have broken down on me. 4 times they've broken down on me while I'm driving them. So going through something like that, I'm bound to get, it's made me patient. It's made me realize, and the thing is too, because I don't have time for anything really. All I have time for is just going to work, going home, sleeping. I don't have time to deal with these things. I already get like 5 hours of sleep. I only get 5 hours of sleep. Like working and driving, I don't have time, even for little inconveniences. I don't have time for anything, right? Because that just takes away from my 5 hours of sleep, right? So that's one thing. What else? I've prayed for strength. So those car things, right? One of them, it happened like 30 minutes or maybe 10 minutes after I prayed for patience. Boom, the car breaks down on me. I have to wait hours or whatever the heck, right, for someone to figure that out. And it's like 5 times cars breaking down on me, right? So that, another time I was driving my truck to drop the car so this one broke down on me first. I went to go drop this off, and to drop off a vehicle, right, you take 2 cars, 2 people, you leave one, go back in one, right? When I was leaving in my truck, that one broke down as I was dropping this car off that I'm driving at the dealership or at the mechanic shop. As I was leaving the mechanic shop, because this one was broken, the truck broke down on me. And that was an hour after I prayed for patience. So so what's another thing, a major thing that's happened? I've prayed for strength. So when did I pray for this? I prayed maybe 2 months ago. I prayed 2 months ago for strength. I was going through so much, because of a breakup, right? I was just, heartbroken, just struggling, and I was just praying to God. I was asking God, give me strength, and as I was praying, I knew what that meant. I know what that means. I knew what I was putting myself into. I knew what I was asking for, right? So I asked God for strength, and next thing you know, my dog of 8 years, the only thing I had in this world, dies. The only thing I had in this world, gone. The only thing I had left. So I prayed for strength. Now I have it. I prayed for patience. Now I have it, And it's like I said, 80% of the things I pray for. So you might pray for something. So this is where these lessons come in that I've learned this year, right? You might pray for something and it's not happening. You might get impatient. You pray for something, you want it right away, just like that. That same day, the day after. Like the vehicles, I would pray, boom, 30 minutes later, or 10 minutes later, like when I broke down on the freeway, or an hour later, boom. I prayed right away, I get what I prayed for. But let's say, when I prayed for strength that night, and I was really, really praying hard. I was really, really struggling that night, that day, that time period, right, of my life. It was really hard for me. I prayed for strength. Instead of God giving me what I wanted right away, He gave me. I stopped staying in a hotel. Right, when I prayed that night, I was in a hotel in Detroit. I was just going to work. I was staying in a hotel in that area. That's what everyone does, right? But I stopped doing that. I started driving home every day because my dog. I'm all that my dog had in this life. I'm all that she cared about. So, I'm gonna do my best effort just so she, so she could see me every day. Because I know when, the days I was gone, the days that I was staying in a hotel, right, or the weeks, I'm just hurting her. I was hurting my dog. So that's the reason, right? Honestly, that's the reason. It keeps me out of trouble. It was keeping me out of trouble, right? And I was, So that's why I was driving, right? I wanted my dog to see me every day. I didn't want her to live without at least seeing me every day, right? Even if I didn't have time, but just the fact that she knew I was sleeping there at home, safe, that meant everything to me. So, So what if God gave me what I wanted right away? I was, boom, let's say I prayed that night, my dog dies or something, the night after. If that happened, I would have been destroyed. I would have been so in such a bad place, mentally, spiritually, anything, I would have lost it. I would have had nothing. You know. So yeah. I mean, instead, God gave me some time. God gave me more time. So to be with my dog. He allowed me more time to be in her life, for her to be in my life, right? So I prayed for strength. So I mean, so that happened, right? So yeah. So the lesson that I learned from that is, I might pray for something and it might not happen the day after right away, but honestly, I mean, it's for the best, whatever. I mean, that's the way I look at it. At this point, if I pray, I'm not worried about when it comes. I leave that to God. That's why I'm praying, right? Praying, and as you know, it's not for me to worry. God knows what's best. His timing is always best. So what is it? So the 20%, right? I've gotten 80% of the things that I've prayed for. What's the 20%? The 20%, a house. I've prayed for a house. I want a house. God willing, I'll get one. Whenever the time is right. I'm not even worried at this point. I'm just, whenever it happens, it happens. A house and a wife. Those are the two things I have prayed for that I've not received. But I mean, like I said, yeah. So yeah, I don't know if there's anything else I could add on to this video, but yeah, like I said, I mean, I've prayed for a lot of things this year, and I've received, 80% of the things. So, yeah, in summary of this video, when you pray for something, you just got to be ready for what's coming. You got to know what you're praying for and what that entails. When I prayed for strength, I know, and I knew even when I was praying, I knew God wasn't just gonna make me stronger, boom, all my problems disappear. Oh, my heartbreak, boom, disappears. No. Strength. What is strength? Let's say you're physically, you want to get stronger. You're not gonna get stronger if you just stay on the couch all day, sleep in all day, do nothing physical. If you want to get stronger, you got to go to the gym, or you got to work a physical job if you want strength, right? It's not just gonna come just like that out of nowhere. Patience. Pray for patience. Well, God is not just gonna give it to you, boom, here. Nah, you're gonna go through something. You're gonna go through something that's gonna make you more patient. So So yeah, just whenever you pray, just be ready. Be ready to you got to know what you're praying for and be ready to receive it. So and yeah, and trust God's timing. When you pray, trust God's timing. It might not come that same day. It's like my dog, right? I prayed for strength. Boom, my dog passes. Thank God he didn't give me what I prayed for right away. Because yeah, he gave me, let's say, 2 more months with my dog, 2 more months to clear my head, to he waited 2 more months until I was standing on more solid ground to do that. So yeah, hopefully this video is able to help someone. But yeah, that's I guess that's it for this video. So until next time, repent. God bless y'all, and I'm out.